It's like a square tire. As close as you can get to one, an octagon. That is some very weird tire wear. I'll have to investigate what's going on over there. Welds are all broke off. This was an emergency repair. They had come loose and walled out of the hub. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
On the apartment side? That shock's leaking.
Any sparkles?
Oh, a lot of sparkles. Like it couldn't be any more sparkly. You could paint that on a lowrider and somebody would think it looks really good. Very metally in there, and as you pull it in and out, very loose. I'm gonna grab my 4-inch wheel socket.
Yeah.
Very sparkly.
As long as it's on this end and not the inside.
Pull on that for me. Some nice paste of metal on there. Yeah. See how many turns you can, oh wow, see how many turns you can tighten it. So not quite a half a revolution.
Yeah, that is some glittery stuff.
Oh, I know, I can see it. Yeah. Should put a glove on.
Well, I wasn't planning on getting in here. I went to hand you tools, and all of a sudden it's me taking it apart.
That scared me. Jiggle that bearing out of there.
You don't have a pick or anything over here, do you?
Yeah. Open the hub a little bit and it'll come out.
It should be past where the hub is doing anything. I don't know what that noise was.
Obviously got a lot of wear with the sheen to it.
Yeah, but
Not as bad as I thought it was going to look.
I don't see our chunks yet.
There's so much metal in there though. Let's see what the other one looks like.
What color would you call that?
Gunmetal gray.
Nah, it's got some green to it.
Yeah, good old green.
Candy apple bearing. Hey Art. Hey Art, look at your hub.
Yep. Say this didn't look bad.
Let me go get some pig mat for the floor. We knew we could feel a flat spot on the bearing, and we took this is the inner race, and you can see that big
Yeah, we've been busy.
goober in there. So this side is very sparkly too, and look, the holes are
Yeah.
filled with metal particles.
Appreciate it.
The bearing adjustment nut is so tight I can't turn it by hand. I put the socket on it, and I can't turn. Usually, you can turn it like that. I got to get a wrench on it and see how tight this bearing is. Go ahead and stick that in there. There should be no tension at all on that. That was tight for what it is.
Over your shoulder, that don't bother you, does it?
No, not at all. And you can see where the bearing was touching and where it wasn't. So obviously,
This month.
that stud is definitely bent. It's not going up and down on these welds or anything. I'm keeping it flat. I can even lift it up and spin it, and it's still wobbling like that. I got it.
That goes my belief. I thought the first half would fall like that.
Stop. It won't fit because the chisel has been used on it?
Yeah.
Why would somebody use a chisel on that size nut? Judging by the rust on the nut, I don't have high hopes for the condition of the bearing, but we'll soon find out. The one on the other side was all rusty.
Wheel earlier and made it clunk in and out.
Yeah, it was loose.
Can you give me that pick that's right over there?
6. Yeah, I agree with you.
They always say on these Eagles, you gotta watch out for rust. You didn't know it was on your wheel bearings.
Yeah, I did.
Oh man. Yep, every single wheel bearing in race is getting replaced.
A little less than 26. Right at 26. 25. I mean.
Yeah, it's 24 and 3. Wait. Here, my
That's
glasses
7/8.
on.
Looks like.
Okay, so we know that we are about a half of an inch further back on this side. This is the side that has the bad tire wear in the rear tires. But we know that that axle is not centered in the wheel well. It's a ½ inch off compared to the other side. And that was taking the laser level. That thing throws out a couple of lines for us that are completely level. And we measured center to center, center of the axle stub. So we know that it's not right. So that wear is either out of alignment issues or bad shocks, because the shocks over here on the side are all bad too. They're all loose and moving around on there. So we know that that's going on. So we're gonna figure out how to adjust the axle on here to get it centered up. And I don't know if we need to pull the measurement from the front wheels to the back wheels and what that measurement should be, or if we just make it equal. I'm gonna look through the book and find that out. I'm not an Eagle expert, so somebody that is an Eagle expert can tell us what we need to do, but obviously that tire wear is very bad. And the fact that we know it's not centered in there, it's not even close. So we'll find out if the axle, we'll get it adjusted and get it centered up, but it must have been crabbing down the road. But that's, you know, he's got severe tire wear on front tires and rear tires. And we definitely have to look at that. Oh, and we got these wheels and hubs separated here. That wasn't one of these between that wheel. That protector plastic thing goes between the steel and the aluminum. It helps to prevent that dissimilar metal corrosion. And you know, rust is nature's Loctite, as what Art said today. I was like, yep, that sure is. So, but overall, this is a really solid Eagle. There's not a lot of rust under there. When you look at it, it's, for an Eagle, it's in very, very good shape back there. So unfortunately, we had to go through with all these wheel bearings, races, shocks, all that kind of stuff. This one's loose too. So all that stuff takes a toll on it. It needs all those components to be working properly. So we'll figure out how to get this all squared up and go from there, or at least get it close enough where we can get it maybe to an alignment shop or something then. We'll just have to see. So we are actively looking for a new hub to replace this one that these studs had come out of and had been welded back in a different kind. And this was an emergency repair when he was up in Alaska, and it got him back home. But this hub needs to be replaced. We're all wallowed out and everything, and it's junk. So we'd like to find a new one of these. So this is for an Eagle bus, and this is a hub pilot. So these are not bud wheels. It's not a stud pilot wheel, it's a hub pilot. So we're looking for a hub like that so we can continue to use his rims and everything. But some of these are bent and they're loose and broken, and it's just not the right, it's just not the right lug nuts on there, or studs. So we're looking for a new hub. If anybody has a lead on one, an Eagle bus, that would be great if we could try and find that. Meanwhile, we're getting the rear end at least centered in there for now, and then we'll do the correct alignment on it. Got shocks to replace. Several shocks are loose, some shocks are blown out. So all the wheel bearings, all the shocks in the back. We're going to adjust the torsion elastic suspension tomorrow. There's plenty of adjustment on the bolts on them, and it is holding it up high. It's not like they failed, so I think that we'll be able to get the lift that we need. You remember what we were low on the back? We weren't much. We were like a half inch or something little like that on the back for the measurement for the book, but the front was low. So we'll work on those, and we're gonna get the kingpins out hopefully tomorrow. So we still got plenty to do, but we're just about done tearing stuff apart. We're about to the point where we start getting parts where things can start going back together. So that'll be good. So these two tires were bought at the same time. And this is that front one that was wearing so bad. And I mean, that's like so close to that little Z-groove there. This one, the Z-groove is gone. I guess there's not one in front, but you can see how much deeper it is tread-wise. This tire is like 3/4 of an inch shorter on one side than the other. That thing's gonna go.
There's the jack if you need it.
Okay. Yeah, this is something neat I was going to show on his bus. Is he converted these doors. They used to lift up, like, I'll show you, there's one on the other side that still does it, but he put hinges on them because there's a gap between there to put a hinge. And now they open up huge so you can get in without banging your head. And you don't walk by and kill yourself on them when they're open, like you did today on your other one. Yeah, he's got a big old cut on his arm. So he's converted all these swing open like that now. This one's got a double hinge on it. So instead of going up in the air like this, and then you see they still hang down about 6 inches, so you can't get in there all the way. You gotta get your head up under there, and then you bang your head on it when you come in and out. So it really gives you a lot more access to get stuff in and out of the bay. The only downside is if you're parked really close to something, you can't swing them open all the way. That's the only downside.